Greg here, mapping your marketing, long running decades marketing division. And lately, boy, we're just in love with AI. We've been leading with that. We've been helping a lot of people, uh, including ourselves. We eat our own dog food. We use this stuff. I've been some really great things. We're trying to stay on top of all of this stuff. And it is a doggone full-time job. I could just sit around and read articles. So we try to do that a little bit and sit in between and cut through the hype and cut through the jargon and just bring real actionable things. And so today, hard to ignore the new release from ChatGPT, version 5, a lot of hoopla. Some say the biggest hype job in a long time, but it's here. There's no getting around it. It does have a few changes that we are going to dig into, including if you miss your old stuff, how to set it back to use some of the older models. Because frankly, new releases break old stuff. And they deprecated, which is a fancy word for they turned off some of the old models, which a lot of people actually had some dependency on still. So that's what we're doing today. Your GPT user?
Yes.
Paid?
I have been both. Right now, I am currently paid.
Good. No place to save $20. Um, so that said, let me tee up. I have a couple of things. I have a little doc.
Okay.
So this is a rough thing. I modeled some stuff. I borrowed some stuff
Mhm.
from online from a few
Mhm.
people. A lot of this is from a great person in my world, Kendra,
Mm.
and and she just did a really succinct little job. Um,
Mhm.
you can pick your models up here, right?
Mhm.
And we'll get into some of this. And then I have these turned on. And so for you, not necessarily, we go into customize.
Yep.
Actually, we just needed to go into settings. Where's settings? Settings. Um, you can turn this on here, show additional models.
Okay.
And I think it's good for anybody, even though some of these are kind of built in, but if you had any dependencies, right?
Mhm.
And then while we're here, GPT-5 um, has a couple of them, and it's kind of defaults to auto, right?
Yep.
And it gives you a little thing. There's a quick, think quickly,
Mhm.
thinking longer, right? And then some of these were like that, 4 and 4.1, and then O3 was the deeper thinking one. Weird
Yeah.
names, they have terrible names for this stuff.
Yeah.
But for those people that were interested in that part of that, basically it works the same. You know, you got your sidebar, you got your thing.
Mhm.
Um, so if we go into this, what has been your experience have you been using it in the last week since they dropped version 5?
No, I was on vacation last week, and
Oh,
then this week I haven't popped into it actually. I've been focused on some other things. And so no, I
okay.
actually haven't used it yet.
Well, good. So you're actually gonna you walk into it eyes wide open, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So this is a real sort of simple one. You might have heard some of this. Some of it might be, review because some of it's sort of like general like AI usage.
Okay.
Um, but they talk about it being faster, smarter, more flexible, right? Um, and some of the things that they think it brings is these modes, right? We just sort of talked about that.
Yep.
Auto, quick answers, and sometimes that's all you need, right?
Mm.
Thinking, we like thinking. And thinking is neat because sometimes it shows you what it's doing. If you never tried O3,
Okay.
we'll go do one of those, and maybe we'll do
Okay.
it sooner than later here.
Okay.
And then thinking mini, like kind of in between.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's go into thinking
Okay.
because a lot of times when you just do it, you type this in, and then in mere seconds you have an answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's ask it maybe something then, and I believe it will show us kind of some of its steps, which is really sort of neat because you can like see um, under the hood, right?
Yeah.
What it's
Yeah.
doing. And I don't know if you have one you want to suggest. I could say, um, this is a niche thing about getting into. We'll leave it kind of broad since it's thinking. Let's see what it thinks it needs to think about.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I say, I think that what's going to happen is we'll see. Oh, you gotta love real demos, live demos. Okay, new chat, auto. That was terrible. Oh, you watch this. Let's do let's see if O3 works. So now I know that we are kind of jumping away from five, but I think it's important if you've never seen this. Um, let's get rid of ChatGPT. AI users. So this one, it not new, so it shouldn't fail.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so here you go. See this?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can actually click on, oh, you sweetheart. So now it's searching the web, right?
Mm-hmm.
To go into, so it's thinking, so I give it like, that's what's that, 10 words, less than 10
Mm-hmm.
words. So then it goes, oh, let's deduce what that prompt was.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's, the landscape grounded in the latest insights to inform strategy with precision, impact, and clarity. That's slick. I didn't write that.
Yeah.
And so then it went out to these websites. Okay. So this is one, two, three, four big sections, prevalence and patterns. So that's pretty good, nudging over half, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what's slick here? It's got a citation.
I was just gonna ask if is that what that was?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
sometimes you don't always get that in the simple, quick ones, right?
Right, right. Yeah.
And here we are, right? AI plus human, been my
Yeah.
mantra forever.
Yeah.
And so the human is the validation, right? If you know
Mm-hmm.
the word hallucinations.
Yes, very much so.
So this is slick. Some of these we'll see in regular ones these days, but certainly almost always in three, which is the deeper thinking model.
Mm-hmm.
Metrics. Okay. They're using AI assistants, which is not necessarily AI large language models, but
Mm-hmm.
that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, trust. Well, we're sitting about half on a lot of this stuff. Ooh, 90% want to know when it's generated. That's nice. Risks, barriers, and some overview. Isn't about flashy features. Okay. What about, and we'll do one for you, or you can play along in yours, right? Get work done in the session. We always talk about it in here if you haven't been in the room.
Got it. Yeah, I don't know. I have to figure out where I'm re-entering my ongoing work with it.
Gotcha. So we'll play along with mine because we want to do an example here, right? So
Yep.
best prompting practice is to, put in a good one and then iterate, right? Meaning refine the prompt.
Mm-hmm.
So my angle is that
Mm-hmm.
that AI plus human again, right? So who needs to fact check AI? Who needs to manage AI? Who needs to see if it's giving us quality output? Well, the people with the knowledge and the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so the people of a certain age, like myself in the marketplace, people with experience and expertise are the ones to do that. So that's sort of my angle that we in the marketplace have tremendous value in the AI section. So here it is. It's thinking about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Working on an answer. Now it's, oh, leveraging older professionals. So 10 sources in 17 seconds. And have you seen that before in your usage?
No.
Gotcha. So that said, even though five isn't working, it's an example of thinking, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thinking longer, and not only thinking longer, it's like high school geometry, like show your work, right?
Right.
And
Right.
it's doing this. It's like it tells you I thought. We can actually click on that, right? And here's what it thought.
Mm.
So it takes this little, well, again, 10, 12 words, right? Things what they can bring. They can their roles. Um, they can how they can contribute. Trust. Da, 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 da. So it's pretty slick.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
I don't know what what do you do? I don't think I
I'm an executive coach.
executive coach. So tons of use for you. That's a AI is a great for that use case.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Excellent. So I think that you'll have some times where this one will work, and this is slick. I'm gonna have to save this one, and that's a good name for it. Do you know how to rename your chats?
I don't think I have, but my guess is
Yeah. So like
those dots on the side.
yeah,
Yep.
or throw it in the project, right?
Mm. Sure.
Oh, here we go. Speaking of projects, and good for you for using projects, right?
Thank you.
Um, and that's a good use case for everybody because, you end up like me. If you use this stuff a lot,
Yeah.
it just goes forever.
Yep.
Okay. Let's go back to the notes and see what else was going on. Unless you got any specifics, we'll just keep going down here. Um,
No, I just wanted to come in and kind of get a little bit of
gotcha. Well,
a
so here we
side.
are. We only made it to one. uh, how deep to think? Actually, we just did a tremendous deep dive on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Bigger memory. They call it a context window. I don't know if
Okay.
you load a lot of stuff when
Mm-hmm.
you're doing it, or you have long chats, right?
Yeah.
And then to speak of hallucinations, at the end of these really, really long chats, it starts to make stuff up. Well, some of that's because it's like the range game and Price is Right. Like the beginning of the chat starts just getting forgotten.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one thing they did in here is to allow us to have uh, more workspace, bigger desktop, however you want to say that, right?
Mhm.
Better at staying in its role. So if you don't use those custom GPTs, then one of the best practices is like, act as an expert copywriter, right? Act as a YouTube specialist.
Yep.
Um, and I think underneath there, it tries to match um, what you tell it. Makes
Yeah.
sense?
Yep.
Have you done at least the customizations in ChatGPT?
Yes.
Okay, well then good. So you tell it how to act, you tell it about you. I'm a executive business coach. Da, da, da. Good, good,
Yep.
good. So let's go down some best practices. Oh, I'm going to jump to the bottom. Here's another one I found from somebody. Um, it's a good hook. It's a social media post. You're
Uh-huh.
bad. Uh, and the truth is, yeah, right. You know, we always say garbage in, garbage out, right?
Yeah.
But, literally don't just say write me, who's it for? What's the tone? You
Sure.
know, um, lots of instructions, right?
Hmm.
Um, give it material. I don't know if you paste in, like if you're going to write me a blog, like put a couple of your good blogs in there.
Hmm. Yep.
Um, telling it what you want, tables,
Hmm.
stuff like that.
Yep.
Iterating, again, jargony, but basically, you know, refining.
Hmm.
Like I did a re-angle, like, how about the experience and the expertise?
Hmm.
Make sense?
Yep.
So the people who are good at it, and it sounds like you're a pretty skilled AI user, you know, you're not lucky. You're actually following the proper methodologies, right?
I
And
did.
one of them,
You made a comment in some other tech corner about asking ChatGPT to like rate your prompt game.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I did that actually.
What
And
did you get?
well, I don't know if it was just, kind of in a high sycophantic moment or something, but I mean, it said that I was, a really high end user basically, because
Oh, sweet. So like an 8 or a 9 or something, yeah.
yeah, I mean, and it gave me like a few different examples, of like where I was very highly rated, and then a couple things that I could work on. But most of it, it was just like my prompts are very detailed,
Go,
like
see?
act in this way
Yep.
and give me, here's the context and, this is what
Yeah,
I want
right
to
here.
see.
Give it a roll.
Yep. Yep.
Perfect. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, how great.
Yeah.
Samples, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, GPS method, and there's so many of these little acronyms, right?
I don't know what the GPS is.
Well, and I don't know either. I just found this GPS G roll that doesn't really match purpose. I don't know how that these match P and purpose, S and structure,
Yeah.
but a role, right, and a task and a structure.
Yep. Yep.
Um, be specific. Now, frankly, it's not very good at counting. Um, but it's good to put it in. Sometimes you have to say, make it longer, be more
Mm-hmm.
concise. If you're
Mm-hmm.
shooting for things, I don't know if you use it for blog content, we're always shooting for, 1200 ish.
Yeah.
Breaking them into steps, examples, refinement. Sounds like you're pretty solid on all that. This is for some of the people playing at home.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is a neat one. Um, it says it can self assess, or sometimes you just say, what else are you missing before diving into
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
thing, right? Well, like, or what else am I missing, or what else would
Yeah.
make your output better, right?
Yeah.
So there's a little example. You're an HR manager. Here's the audience. Put in some input. Here's a goal.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to do these steps.
Mm-hmm.
I want the output like this.
Yep.
Now, I'm not even sure I do mine like that all the time. So that's a really solid example of an advanced prompt, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, even though we kind of come across that some way. So let's see how it's a little bit different. Um, you can pick the level,
Mm-hmm.
the context, staying in character,
Mm-hmm.
handles different better. So if we start looking at, then that's covering that again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you just want 5 grants, boom, go find them. If you want it deep, do that. And oh, this is a solid little one here. And the iteration part, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you probably come at it probably either see you want a lot of the people that have a lot of success, and I think you have all these traits is you come in with a thought, you come in with a plan, you come in with um, good stuff for it to work on.
Mm-hmm.
And when we talk about AI plus human, I talk about it, and it's actually a triplet. One of my prompts there, I set it to make an image, so it's um, AI in the beginning, or human in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and then AI, and then human at the end,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and this is where it starts to happen. Like, oh, give me more depth, right?
Yep.
Expand it,
Mm-hmm.
give it a word limit. I have not had a lot of luck. I might have to go test that in five, right?
Mm.
Here's a couple little cheat sheets. You're a role helping audience with goal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a good little one. So that is it. I want to go back and see, unless you don't have one, I'm going to see if we can get this. Um, let's go thinking mini.
And does the context carry over, like if you switch models?
I think it does. So if you stay in this chat, not a new chat, right?
Okay.
All right, let's try that. So let's go on fast, right? See, it didn't show us like what it was doing, and it did
Right.
it in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And so, and again, this is more like how they are a user. My value proposition is that they're a tremendous asset on managing and quality control over AI.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's go up the scale and say redo. Ooh, I like this part, right? Oh, you sweetheart. Okay. We didn't really get to see that when I clicked on it.
Right.
And I'm afraid I don't want to get it to stop us in the red again. Um, and it doesn't show like the whole thing. You can click on it here. We'll try the longer one.
Okay.
But yeah, so to your question, as long as we're in this same chat, the same right window,
Mm-hmm.
I did pick a different model.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so then it wasn't a lot longer per se.
No.
Um, look at that. That's from my last chat. Their expertise, right, and experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's like literally almost from the one I just talked about. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so let's go and tell it to redo. So do you use it for writing content, or do you use it for your coaching biz internally? Or
So,
now I could cut this out, or you can share at a high level, but we
yeah,
like
I
to hear
mean,
use cases in the world.
sure. So I I have a speaking engagement coming up, and so I used, your idea of human and then AI and then human again. So I kind of did some iterations like that. So I knew the big topic that I was going to be speaking on. And I asked it to help me generate some ideas of different sections that I could start crafting. And so we created like an outline based on kind of a little bit of back and forth. I
Right.
took that to my co-speaker and we kind of refined it and figured out, okay, this is what we want to do. And then what I did was I actually like in my sections, I myself wrote like, hey, this is like on this whole section, this is um what I would talk about for the 10 minutes that I'm speaking.
Right.
And I actually wrote all of that out, put all of that into ChatGPT and said, so here's my tone, here's how I present, and here's the outline for sections 2 and 3. Draft me a first draft of my speaking for sections 2 and sections 3, and then
Ooh.
it gave me the output, and then I could go in. So just, I don't know that it necessarily saved a ton of time, but I think it saved some. And it was nice to then have kind of a fully baked draft that I was then just um, updating and kind of refining with my own voice.
Beautiful. I love that. That is so solid because yeah, it maybe it's a good ideation partner, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you especially you give it enough and then you can refine it and
Mhm.
frankly, what I find for me is that it's like, oh, I wanted to talk about that, but I forgot. But it
Mhm.
goes, hey, this is an important
Mhm.
little nugget to put in there.
Yeah, yeah,
Slick. Well, to bounce back to this,
yeah.
let's see, it is 43. We still have maybe 8 or 10 minutes here. So we did get luck, right? We did the thinking one
Mm-hmm.
and it thought for 34 seconds, which was longer. That's twice as long as it thought in
Yep.
'03, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is the prior deep thinking model.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily deep research, but just a deeper thinking, right?
Yep.
There's not a lot of depth in here.
Yeah.
Um,
There's also no citations.
yeah, let's see if there's any. Oh, yeah, '03 was better for that for sure.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, a lot of people think that this 5.0 is overhyped, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'll provide frameworks, taglines, three-step call to action. So there aren't catching up. They're the ones who make it useful, supplies the context, judgment, and standards. Why they win, quality bar, use cases, editor in chief for AI. Uh, this is neat. I sometimes I didn't like it when I first heard it, but the term force multiplier,
Mm-hmm.
experience multiplier. And I try to stay out of jargon, like the keeping it real, non-techie.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so this is slick. Boy, here we go. Well, we are going back quarter till. I'm going to tell it to um, create those, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just let that thing chunk away.
Cool. Great. Well, thanks for the
You're
overview.
sure welcome. I'm going to send you my booking link
Okay.
in the chat. And if you want a book, let's have a real one. I think